Hello, hello. So this is the planning hangout for the Ubuntu Global Jam, an event we're going to have from the 6th to the 8th of February.
Hey guys.
In it, and yeah, at this time we're going to have a number of local teams around the world meeting up, and doing whatever they can to make Ubuntu better. We'll we'll leave this open intentionally, so no matter if you want to work on fixing bugs, doing translations, testing, artwork, advocacy, whatever they want to do, it's install parties. On, I just had myself talking back at me. Okay, so it seems the video feed is working. So that much for an introduction to the Global Jam. We're going to have some members of the LoCo Council here any minute. We just go and ping them real quick. Maybe we should set up another pad or something to take some notes.
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
Thank you. Hey Nathan.
Hey, how are you?
Hey Nathan.
All right, I've created an Etherpad. I've pasted it for those in the Hangout. It's on the chat widget, or otherwise it's on #Ubuntu -on-air on RC. So feel free to help with adding to the pad with ideas or with the notes during the call. All right. We will have Nick Skaggs also coming. We were on a call earlier, and that's why we came a bit late.
Yeah, and Jose also just said that he would join any minute.
Okay, cool. Shall we have a look what how many events we've got, or what the local portal looks like?
Sure.
We currently still have 5 events.
Okay.
So I've posted a link to that in the Etherpad document now.
Cool. Thanks, Mike. Oh, I need to talk to the Catalan team then. It seems it's not registered, but there's a plan. There's planning already going on. Okay, cool. And there's going to be an app dev school, which is really cool too.
Brilliant. So yeah, we have like 2.5 weeks left before the event starts, so we should probably try to get in touch with a number of teams. What we used to do in the past was just to mail all the teams, the one like the local contacts and the local, what's it called, admins.
I think we just reached out to individual team contacts.
Okay. Yeah, I usually mailed all of them, just to be sure. I guess that's also going to help. Maybe in the text this time we should probably also mention to sign up for the local contacts mailing list. It might save us sending some emails in the future.
We should also mention the availability of these jam packs to anybody who does want to run an event.
Yeah.
Right, I'm happy to draft something up. I'll do that early tomorrow. I can then share that with you. Maybe we just note whatever you want them to know. So I'll remember it.
Okay, that sounds good. So that would cover getting in touch with teams. In the past, what we have done as well, which has worked pretty well, is contacting, as you were saying, contacting the local teams, the local team contacts directly, rather than it being just a single person. We've just divided it between the team. Shall we do this time around as well?
We can. It really would have been better to do this a couple weeks ago, I think. We're running pretty close to the event now.
Yeah, but still, it shouldn't take that long to. I mean, I wouldn't just say let's not do it because there's too little time left.
Yeah, I agree we should do it. I'm just saying it may not be as effective as it was before because we are late.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. There's a question on IRC actually. That's a good question. Which is the best IRC channel to be on for the day of the Ubuntu Global Jam? I'm guessing Ubuntu LoCo Teams, right? What do you guys think?
I would say Ubuntu LoCo Teams, and if not Ubuntu LoCo Teams, your LoCo Team channel.
Okay, cool.
Which IRC channel are we using for this hangout? Is it Ubuntu LoCo Teams or Ubuntu On Air?
Ubuntu On Air.
Yeah, I was looking at On Air. Okay, so in terms of getting in touch, shall we just have a look at the LoCo directory and do the usual division between continents? So let me just pick this up. So okay, so
anybody remember what continents we did last time? Who did which?
Oh, I can't remember. I just picked the ones that everyone is happy with.
I can check on the LoCo Team portal. Or what are you referring to?
I was just referring to how we distributed it last time on who's going to contact which teams.
Oh, okay.
Did everyone see the who left it? Who mentioned it? I believe it was. I can't quite remember their name. Anyway, they were suggesting making sure that each local team had an actual contact and putting that into a Launchpad team so that we could contact them more effectively. Because I was just thinking, I think I did North America last time, and it would actually be easier for me to do it again because hopefully, presumably, all the people I reached out to, I could reuse those email addresses that I had to, sort of painstakingly track down to try and find contacts. But it would be good to implement their suggestion to actually have a team with a proper contact, so this is not a labored exercise.
That would be something that would have to be kept up to date manually, though.
We're working on that actually. It's pretty hard because of the fact that there are teams that there are contacts that are no longer working as contacts, and they do not want to forward information because they just do not want to know anything about the community. But the LoCo Council has been working on it, especially since we asked for a report of how the teams were doing last year. We contacted all the teams, and we got a response from some teams. We got no response from other teams, but we were on the process of trying to understand why this was happening and trying to find a way to re-implement this Launchpad or LoCo portal contact feature, since on the LoCo portal you can list team contacts, and usually team leaders are not the same as team contacts, and there's a little bit of conflict in Launchpad between those terms.
Yeah, that's something that we've had a problem with for years and years now. I've always just used the local team portal to find contacts or to contact the team itself. For this, I always ended up contacting the team, either mailing list or through Launchpad.
You mailed the team, like the team mailing list, or how did you do it?
If the team has a mailing list, I would use that. Otherwise, I would just use the Launchpad form, which will send out individual emails to everyone on the team.
Right. I was just asking because in a lot of cases you would probably need to sign up for the mailing list for the mail to go through. Right?
I can't remember getting any bounces saying that I had to be subscribed to the mailing list for it to go through.
Got the special
I think,
keys.
there might have been some that where it went into moderation and I had to ping somebody to get it out.
I see.
Yeah, I mean those that are on list.ubuntu.com tend to have moderation. All right. So shall we just go and pick continents? I can't remember what I took last time, to be honest. I've just listed them on the Etherpad. I'm happy to pick the first one, Asia. Or is there anyone else would prefer to have Asia?
Do you think it would be a good idea for you to do South America just for language support?
Oh, yes.
You're the only one of us who I think is really fluent in Spanish.
Or Jose.
Actually, guys, I was thinking about not language, but continents in time zones. So, for example, Bhavani can take Asia, since he's in India, and because of time zones, it's going to be easier for him to reply quickly to those emails if they send a query back.
That's true.
Okay. But we don't know if Bhavani has got the time, though.
Correct. So we would have to ask him, and if he's not available to do it, we could pick someone else as the backup.
Right. I mean, okay, I can send a mail to him asking him if he would be happy to do that, and if he doesn't reply, I could just do it, just in the interest of getting it done, because with 2.5 weeks, you can't have too many round trips.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Right, either Bhavani or myself will take care of it.
Jose, do you want to take South America?
Yeah, I'm good with South America.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and take Africa because I don't think we've got anybody there.
All right. So Australia. Well, Australia, Oceania is just a small one. We've got 2 teams in there. So let's merge it with. I don't know. Let's merge it with Africa, perhaps. It's a bit smaller than. Than the others. Okay. Europe. I mean, I would say either I or Poppy. It's quite a long list, so I'm wondering if we could just divide it.
And just do rock, paper, scissors right here.
All right. I don't know. I'm happy to take it, or Poppy, do you want to take it? Or we can do half and half. I don't know.
So let's just split them.
Okay. For North America, we've got Nick. Nick is also a long list, so yeah, I mean, I'd say feel free to reach to someone else.
Nathan, would you be able to help Nick contact North American teams?
Yeah, I can help with that.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Okay, and then the other. Okay, so Jose, are you happy to take South America plus other? Other is like teams
Sure.
without
Ubuntu Mars?
country. Sorry.
Ubuntu Mars?
One of these days, we're going to
Antarctica.
have a global jam on the International Space Station. We just need to send markup again.
I'll be filing my my community reimbursement request shortly.
If we don't spend anything at all for the next 50 years, we might be able to do that.
All right. Okay, so let's set the actions in there. Actually, we've got in. What's Vavani's nickname? I've forgotten. It's not Vavani. It's. Never mind. I'll just put Vavani for now.
Phil Bavi or Bavi, one of them.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm writing that in terms of documentation, we've got wiki pages, but now that we've got a new shiny community website, do you guys think it might be worth moving any of that content, or do you think it is good just to have them on the wiki? I think it'd be nice to have a landing page to be honest, saying what an Ubuntu Global Jam is.
I think we can have a shared page between loco.ubuntu.com, which can be a static page, and community.ubuntu.com, so we can just cross-reference them.
Okay. You mean on the page of the event of the local portal, right?
Yeah, both of them. So you can have the page on the local team portal, so you can browse more events, and on the other side you can have the page on community.ubuntu.com, so you can reference to all the activities the community can do.
That's a good idea.
And you can have the same content in both of them, just a little couple lines that are different.
Okay. Mike, is there a way we can show the map on local.ubuntu.com on community.ubuntu.com?
Maybe. So as far as I know, it's just using JavaScript and the Google Maps APIs. And
Okay.
there's enough API on loco.ubuntu.com that you can probably do it, but you're going to need to find somebody who's really good with JavaScript.
Okay. No worries. I mean, if it requires much work, then that's fine. I was simply wondering whether we could just easily put it in there. But if it's not just a matter of 5 minutes, let's
We can
it's
actually just the LoCo Council can add and edit global events as well as the LoCo team portal staff. So we can just change the description on the event, on the global event, which is currently, hey, we do this and that, and how many locos and people are attending. We can change that description in order to show what the community.ubuntu.com page says, and it would have the list of events at the bottom because it's integrated with the event page.
I'm not sure I could follow. Which page were you mean? Did you mean that it would have the list of events at the bottom, Jose?
So if you go to loco.ubuntu.com/events/global jam,
Yeah.
which I'm going to paste on the Ubuntu Air channel too,
Yeah.
you can, that description in there can be edited. So we manually put that in there, and it has a list of all the global events that are running. So right now we have 1 in Mexico, 2 in the States, and 2 without countries. So we can change that little description, which is 3 lines right now, to something a little bit more extensive, and link to community.ubuntu.com from there.
Oh yeah. Got that. Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
And that's going to take 5 minutes.
Okay, so I'll create the landing page on community.ubuntu.com, and I'll give you the link. And would you be happy to edit that description then?
Sure, I would have no problem.
Okay. Okay. All right. In terms of outreach, what about organizing a couple of on-air sessions on how to run a jam, or we could perhaps even reuse the community team Q&A. Although, yeah, I mean that would mean we would have to do it until next Tuesday. I'm just thinking of something where people can again learn how to run an event and ask their questions.
We did that last time in two slots, in 2 time slots that fit, one for Europe and Asia and one for the Americas. So it would probably be a good idea to repeat those time slots, but I'm not sure when would we do it and what the availability of the people around here is.
Okay, I mean, in our case, we can. In our case, as in the community team, we can cover a time zone that's more or less working for Europe and the actually we could do Asia as well if we start on in the mornings. But I don't know. Would anyone from the LoCo Council be happy to run a Q&A on their time zones?
I'd be happy to run a Q&A.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now they would need to be on the evening of each time zone. So you would need to calculate evening for Europe, Asia, or evening for Europe, and evening for the Americas, because people work and they wouldn't be able to watch the sessions and ask while at work.
Yeah, especially if a session's on a weekday.
Yeah, I mean for Asia it might work well, as in Europe we can do it in our mornings, and then for the other parts, like here on this call we've got mostly North, South America, and Europe. From the LoCo Council, we've got Vavani in Asia, and the rest are on these same time zones that we've just said. Perhaps we could do something tomorrow or Friday for Asia, and then something either on the weekend or start of next week for yeah, perhaps North South America. What do you guys think?
That's probably the best idea.
Yeah, I'm flexible for whatever we need to do.
Okay. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is perhaps schedule one for Friday morning, European time, and either Poppy, Daniel, myself, or someone from the LoCo Council that's in Europe can attend, and then Jose, Nathan, shall leave it with you to organize the next one for South and North America.
Yeah, I can get that set up and schedule a time.
Cool.
Yeah, I can try to make myself fit too.
So Jose, I'll coordinate with you and maybe we can co-host that.
Okay, that's good.
So Friday is the 23rd. Okay, cool. All right, it'd be nice to write a couple of blog posts as well. I know Mike already announced the jam packs. It'd be nice to promote those because I think it's a really cool addition to running the jams.
Yeah, I think when we talk about the jam packs, we should let people know that they should order them as soon as possible. Otherwise, the timing is going to get a bit tight. Also, added a draft for the email to the other pad. So if you want to make any last changes or have a look over it, feel free to just edit it. I'm not too attached to the text, but also mention the jam packs.
Oh wow, nice work, Daniel. Okay, that was quick.
Yeah, that came in early. It was really impressive.
Yeah, I made a bit of use of one of the old mails, but yeah.
Cool.
It's important to recycle.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to put an action for myself to write a blog post as well.
With regards to the packages, if they want them to arrive by February the 6th, they would have to order them around by the end of next week or beginning the next week, because they usually take a week for shipping and 2 to 3 days for packaging. And since they both come from different warehouses, like the swag and the DVDs come from different warehouses, it usually takes a little bit longer from a shelter.
Yeah, and I mentioned in my blog, if you're somewhere that's had problems with customs before, it's probably not going to make it to you in time for this global jam.
Yeah, I noticed. So if Michelle can mention one reply in that, uh, like asking for confirmation about customs and timing and all that stuff, it would be great, just to make sure we don't waste resources.
Yeah, I think in this particular goal, I think we can do better next time. But in this particular one, since we came up with the idea, or rather, Mike came up with the idea, but we were about quite advanced in like the timeline. Then we said that we will do it best effort. But yeah, it's important to mention that yeah, people should only order them if they think that it makes sense, or if they think that they will arrive to them.
So since we don't have a lot of buy-in on the LoCo portal right now from different teams, I wonder if it doesn't make sense to sort of encourage LoCo teams to see the Global Jam as an event to get together maybe and just work on the LoCo itself if they think that they need that. If they don't have sometimes bug triaging or documentation can seem kind of daunting, even though that's the low-hanging fruit. Maybe we can sort of promote some extra activities and just get people sort of in the same room, because that's when things start to really happen.
We could probably mix up global jams with Ubuntu hours. So have a global jam and Ubuntu hour after the global jam, because we usually have Ubuntu hours for get-togethers, and we try to take them as separate events because of the focus that it's given. But we could promote like having one after the other.
Well, I mean, Ubuntu Hour. Well, when I ran an Ubuntu Hour, it was just sort of get some coffee and chat. But there's I think not a lot of activity in a lot of LoCo teams, and I think that if we sort of give people the excuse to get together and work on plans for the upcoming cycle, that might be something to slip into some of these blog posts. As we're suggesting other ideas.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that sounds good to me. I mean, I think one thing that we always try to convey is that I mean, an Ubuntu Global Jam is not like a release party. It shouldn't take you that much effort to organize something to get together. And if like any of these activities are too daunting, then perhaps we can like do or we can rather propose that people run lighter types of events. Or I agree with Nathan. I think the important thing is that people get together. And then start talking about how they can get involved, how they can work together. So, what other activities then could we recommend? So we've got the general like bug triaging, testing, translations, documentation, app development schools. We've got Snappy right now, which could be something like just try to get started with Snappy and think about crazy things. I mean, perhaps something like that, like talk about the things that could be done with Internet of Things, might be a cool activity, even if it's just to have a conversation.
Maybe we could have a look at, I don't know, I think in the past we used to collect presentation material on wiki.ubuntu.com/presentations. I'm not sure if that's still up to date or the place where people go, but I could imagine that it would probably help if people had some presentation material for whatever, just so they feel prepared and know what to do. Like, for example, on the Jam page for working with bug reports, I don't know what we exactly tell people there, but just telling them, okay, go to Launchpad is probably not going to cut it. So if we have some good presentation material, maybe we should also advertise this somewhere on the Global Jam page. Like for the app dev schools, we have presentation material, but for other stuff, I don't know. Nick,
Yeah.
for example, do we have something for testing? Sorry.
If we have the page up to date, we can promote it. But I'm trying to check right now the page. It's got material from 2014, which is not too far behind.
Okay.
But it's not got any materials that are actually Global Jam specific. And they are mostly from the Brazilian team, which has been contributing most of their presentations to the page.
What I could do is to mail the Ubuntu community team mailing list and just ask if people have presentation material lying around that they just upload it somewhere and promote it. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I mean, in the past we've just pointed people to the wiki and make sure that there's a list of activities. But I think if there's something that people can reuse and do presentation, that's that's something that's worked pretty well for app dev schools. So it's a good idea to reuse it. But yeah, I mean, perhaps we can reuse some of the presentations that were done on either on UDSs or Open Weeks or App Developer Weeks, something like that. Like, I mean, I could think, we were talking about Nick with QA. I'm sure that you've done presentations in the past that you could just grab and put on the wiki or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, I'm really good at giving presentations, but I really hate making slides. So I think that's one thing where a presentation with a couple notes, speaker notes, is something that can be a really, really big help. Because I can get up in front of people and talk about anything for half an hour, but slides help. So I think that's a good way we can sort of bootstrap it for other teams who are less experienced.
We've had some questions on IRC that we should probably go back and answer.
Oh.
Okay, so one question is from Safety Roll, and that's how is the Ubuntu Advocacy Kit faring that John O'Bacon set up? And I think the answer to that, sorry, go on.
Supposedly Randall was maintaining it, but I think he stopped maintaining it.
Yeah, it sort of hasn't gone anywhere for a long time. A year ago, I designed these great name badges, and I added the template to the advocacy kit because there were no name badges anywhere. I thought I had one here, maybe I don't. So I don't think anything's been done since. It's something where there's not a lot of content, and it could really use just little things that people can use to little flyers, signs. I'm sure someone could sort of scavenge through Spread Ubuntu and maybe add some stuff. That might be a good thing for a team to do for the Global Jam.
Do we have any information on who's been using this, if anybody, and how it's worked out for them?
There's so little stuff in there. I don't think anyone's really been using it. Unfortunately, okay. I don't think it got critical mass.
Is it still on a Launchpad branch? Is it on a BZR branch in Launchpad? Or?
Yes. It is, but it's not being maintained anymore. Randall left it, I believe.
Yeah, there's a couple of issues we have with it. The plan was always to to have automatic builds of it all the time. So we have HTML, PDF, EPUB, and so on. And then we wanted to get it up on LoCo Ubuntu.com. I think because it's not up somewhere visibly, I think that's one of the big issues already. And then we also had some problems with generating translated content somehow. There's a bug open about it. I just didn't have time to look into it. I could imagine that if we had set this up, it would probably be more interesting to contribute to it and to make use of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in terms of translation, when it's about presentations and things like that, it is nice to have something automated like Launchpad to the translations, but it requires a huge amount of work on doing the translations and the maintenance. So perhaps an idea would be if it's just presentations, then we put them out there, and then people can just do their translations directly on the presentation, like as LibreOffice, as Google Doc, or whatever. That might remove one of the blockers.
I'm not sure how we would do a Google Doc slide template or even Google Doc slides in the advocacy kit.
They will have to be linked.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, presentations, I think there's a couple videos, and they're just, I think, media files right there, so I think that was the way that was set up.
Okay.
All right. Akiva also had a question. It says, if my LoCo team is far away or planning to do nothing, can I have a local Ubuntu LoCo at the library near the comfy chairs? Bring your laptops. And yes, you can absolutely do that. Even if your LoCo team is having an event, if you just want to meet up at your local library and invite some people, you can do that too.
2 people are more than enough for a jam.
Yeah. That's really the bottom limit. As long as you have 2 people, you can have a Global Jam event.
It's good in that case to have some sort of agenda or some sort of idea of what you want to do, because otherwise, if it's just generic, let's meet up and work on Ubuntu, that's so broad. Or if it's just let's just meet up, that's super useful and you should do that, but that's not really a jam event. So having a goal in mind, I think, really helps. Because
and you
that's
don't
something.
have to have a goal to last the whole event, just something to get you started.
Yeah, because that gets people excited, that gets people in there.
Yeah, so even if it's, there's this one wiki page that we want to update, just so that when you get there, you've got something to do and that you don't have people sitting around saying, okay, well, what should we do now for 30 minutes out of your hour Global Jam? But there's no restrictions on who can set it up or where they can set it up. So anybody who's on a LoCo team can register an event in the LoCo team portal. That's all the access you need.
Yeah, and if you come up with some great idea and other people see it, that might get them to go and sign up and create their own event. So that's all really helpful things that helps everyone.
And you'll find that even if there's not a lot of activity or a lot of people talking about having a Global Jam event, if you are the one actually organizing it and hosting it, then people will just show up. Far more people will show up to one than step up and organize one. So if you can do that, you'll probably be surprised how many people come.
Yeah, so the sooner you can organize a venue and get that set up, the more people you're going to be able to get there, because people will be able to make plans.
And if you're going to have, like, if you're going to go to a coffee shop and you're going to have a large number of attendees, like even 5 to 10 attendees, you could try to talk to the coffee shop and see if they give you any offers, or let them know that you're going to be there for a long time, if you're going to be like for 3 hours. I've personally managed to get some promotions from coffee shops in the past, so it's good to always talk to them and ask around if they are willing to help.
And just another reminder, we do have these community donations available to you. So in addition to the jam packs that we're offering, if you're going to be at a coffee shop and you want to order a bunch of coffee for everybody who attends, you can add that to your request when you make it, and those get approved pretty easily.
Yeah, but you do have to be an Ubuntu member to submit the request, not for the pack, or are you making that exception?
We've
So
made
not for the
exceptions to
jam
that
pack.
when we know that it's going to good use. The saying that you had to be an Ubuntu member was really just to stop us from being swamped with requests. It wasn't a hard restriction. And so far, we really haven't been swamped with requests, so having more of them
Well,
would be better.
The cat's out of the bag now.
Yeah, still, become an Ubuntu member. If you do enough for Ubuntu, become an Ubuntu member. It's worth it, and your request will probably be processed a bit quicker.
Yeah, I think as a general rule, the people who've made requests that we approved who were not Ubuntu members have been doing enough to become an Ubuntu member anyway. So definitely think about doing that.
Yeah, and then let me in, so it's not like there's a huge barrier to entry. They'll just let anyone in.
Yeah,
so,
just
yeah,
look,
if you've run a couple
look
of
at us. We're all Ubuntu members.
Yeah.
Oui?
Well, we don't want to dissuade anyone. But, yeah, I mean, if you've run a couple of events, you've gotten people together, and you're always looking out for how can you contribute to Ubuntu, make it better. I mean, honestly, that's in order to become an Ubuntu member, I did all the things I would have done as a member, and eventually, Jono at the time found out I wasn't a member and told me to knock it off and just apply. And so, don't. It's not. There's no. We're not superheroes. We're just people helping out. So, don't.
Yeah, I'm willing to
don't.
bet at least half of the Ubuntu members are members because somebody else told them to get off their butt and apply.
Yeah, I was working towards it.
Easy.
What was that, Jose?
It's one of those.
The process is easy. It's not scary. Some people think it's a scare because you have to go in a meeting, but they just actually check that you have been doing the stuff and not applying because you just want the email address.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a developer. Any kind of contribution or any kind of sustained contribution to Ubuntu counts towards membership. So either documentation or advocacy or translations or development can get you Ubuntu membership.
So we have around 10 minutes left. We need to figure out what we're still missing.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Brilliant. So we're going to ping all the individual teams. We're going to have a look at our documentation again. What else? We're going to look into having some hangouts. Anything else? Did we decide on the times for the hangouts already? Because then I could put that into the mail we're going to send out.
Jose mentioned doing it in the evening in each of those time zones so that more people can attend.
Absolutely.
Or just put something in there saying check the local context mailing list or something.
Yeah, check the event in your calendar because I'm going to put them in there. You can go to the page.
Okay.
And the event are going to be in there.
Works for me. Do we need to update any other parts of the documentation, like the individual jams pages or anything else? Like David, you mentioned Snappy early on. Shall we have a chat with Alex and see if he wants to add anything or anyone of his team?
Yeah, that sounds a good idea. I think it'd be nice to review everything else that we've got in there,
right,
to make sure that it's up to date. But in terms
I think
of
we went through all of those last cycle, didn't we?
Can't remember if we did all of them.
It was either last cycle or the cycle before. I remember we went through all the jam pages and made updates.
Right. Okay. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the new content, we should make sure that we add it. So we've got Snappy, we've got the app development schools, but I think for the app development schools, we're well covered because we've got the docs on developer.ubuntu.com. Is there anything else? Do we have any info on cloudy stuff that people could work on? Jose, I think you're one of the experts on cloud.
Actually, we've got right now we're trying to continue with the audit with the charm audit. So right now the process of getting quality into the charm store is still ongoing. Uh, but we're still open for any new charms that want to be developed. So anyone who's got an idea of any charms, just start writing them. If you need help, you can come by Pound Juju and Frina, mostly in there all the time. So if you need any help developing charms or trying to test any charms, because we're also trying to test charms, Pound Juju and Frina will be happy to give you a hint.
So Jose, we've got these separate jam pages for each of the different topics. Do you think you can put together one quickly for doing charms?
Sure. Most things are already on the Juju documentation, and writing a charm. Well, we have templates available, so it's going to be quite easy to put a piece together.
So the wiki page is just, it's a couple sections, summary paragraphs, and links to other resources. So you can just link to all of that. Thanks.
It's good.
There's another. Oh, sorry. Go on, Jose.
Go ahead.
Just a quick one. Thought we mentioned this on IRC. We've got the porting guide for devices that David is working on right now. It might be a good idea, perhaps, to have, if we manage to have it ready by then, it might be a good idea to encourage people to work on ports for Ubuntu on other devices.
I think there's two things there. There's porting Ubuntu Phone to new devices, and also and as part of that, validating the work that you guys have done on the porting guide, because we just we need to find any holes in it, and there's bound to be devices out there that are a bit quirky, and will add certain caveats and clauses to the porting guide. As well as that, there's the porting guide for Snappy. Because I personally have I'm interested in that because I personally have a device that I would like to see Snappy running on. So I'd love to run through both of those porting guides.
Do we have any idea whether the Ubuntu Touch porting guide will be ready in time? I know the Snappy one I think is up.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the Snappy one. David's working on the phone one.
Yeah, David Cullen. So the Snappy one is ready. I mean, Snappy is still evolving, but the guide itself it's ready. But David perhaps can tell us whether he thinks that it might be, the phone one might be ready.
Oh, well, I think it's going to be ready just a few days before, just a few days in February, like the 2 or the 3rd of February.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good timing. And even if it's not completely finished, it would be good to have whatever a draft version is, so that other people can, feed back their experience of using it. Because no doubt, stuff's going to be weird when people try it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm not going to publish like an advanced draft before that point, just for people who are really interested in the phone and want to get started, even if it's not finished, even if it's very rough.
I mean, we get pinged on IRC pretty much every day by people asking, when's the porting guide coming back? And unfortunately, because I was the last person to edit the wiki page, people come and ask me. So I am, 100% not the right person to ask, which is why I keep asking you.
Yeah, we're also aiming to get the HTML5 training materials ready for that time frame.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, and
yes,
add an action for us to talk to Alex to see if anything was.
Okay, cool.
I was also wondering something to consider for the next cycle. A couple cycles ago, we had an Ubuntu on Air hangout where the Canada team just joined and started like hanging out uh, with some other people around the world who couldn't attend in person. So what about doing a hangout, like an actual hangout, Google Hangout with people so they can contribute? We can run it like for 8 hours, which is the maximum. We can have people come in and out and talk together and probably discuss what's some good ideas to contribute to Ubuntu, like on air. Well, some people can contribute directly from IRC.
We would need somebody to start it and leave it running the whole time.
Yeah, just start it, and we can start it from the Ubuntu on Air account and just turn off the camera and the audio and leave it running.
Related to that, and I think I would rather see shorter snippets of video. I think nobody at all will consume 8 hours of video of people sitting around.
What?
It's not it's not because of the recording itself. It's not. It's because of the hangout on air. So it's not because we are going to actually record it, and the recording is not that much important after the jam because people who already have done the things. But the limit for on-air hangouts is just 8 hours. We can go longer.
My point is more, I don't see the value of a very, very, very long hangout.
Just so people in different time zones can join.
Right, so there's that, but I would also like to see stuff that people actually would want to use and would want to look at afterwards. So, like halfway through the day, you have a breakthrough and you successfully ported Ubuntu to a phone. Video that, make a 3-minute video, stick it on YouTube. We start sharing it around social media, or we've just closed our 50th bug today, or we've whatever little milestones that you have that you can share with people that are like 2-minute video and that kind of stuff. Something that motivates other people, that people will actually watch and get value from.
If we create event pages on Facebook and Google+, will other people be able to post stuff to those? Or would that only be open to the people who have access to the account?
Anyone can post to pages.
But if we created an event for that page, would they be able to post it specifically for the event?
On Google Plus you can, I think. I'm not sure about Facebook.
I'm inclined to think make it more organic and just have people use a hashtag on it or something, so that there's not loads of bureaucracy around, where you have to post and how you have to post. Just post whatever you want to post and hashtag it, and you're done.
I agree, but I think it might be worth having like a centralized. I don't know. I think it might be useful to have some central point where people can send their stuff. I'm not sure whether hashtags can be picked from everywhere. I mean, you can get them from.
So probably.
You can get them from Twitter. You can get them from Flickr, but I think that's pretty much it.
No, Google Plus and Facebook both support hashtags as well. Yeah, they all do now.
Okay.
So, if probably in-person Global Jam will be a bit more interesting since people will be like meeting each other, and if they're closing like $50, and if they close their 50th bug, they can like record a short snippet of video. They can just send it to me on air at ubuntu.com, and I can just put those together and make a 3-minute video or a 5-minute video of people showing how they feel in global jams.
Yeah, doesn't the LoCo portal pick up Flickr and Twitter posts with hashtags?
It can, yes. I think we've set it up to just use the #Ubuntu tag for the global jam, and then individual teams can set up their own personal accounts to feed from.
So it might be better to have like a Ubuntu Global Jam hashtag specifically for this, and then.
We used UGJ at one point, but there was actually a hashtag conflict with something else that was going on, and so we ended up pulling in a bunch of posts and stuff from other events. So we would need to come up with something that we know is unique.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ubuntu Global Jam's kind of long, but if people are just posting pictures, you know, it might still work. But that might be one good way to just immediately, we have infrastructure, we have everything set up to aggregate all that content, and then we can do the hard stuff later.
I would just let people create their own content, post it where they want, and tag it. It works for every other conference. Every other conference, you just tag it, and you're done. And then people go and find it afterwards, and reshare it, repost it. It's low barrier to entry.
Shall we take that part of the discussion to the mailing list, maybe?
Yeah.
Just so we can wrap this up. Do we have anything else we urgently need to discuss, especially stuff that we need to let all the teams know before they start planning?
Promote it whenever they're doing anything. Just promote it anywhere and reshare what you see.
Yep. And we'll have to make sure that we promote it on the main Ubuntu social media accounts as well. The Google Plus one and the Facebook one have got really lots of visibility. So we should make sure that any events we promote or we reshare them in there as well.
Yeah, I think if anyone has any questions about, you know, they're interested in hosting one of these things, but they're not sure what to do, get on the mailing list or onto IRC and start asking questions, because we have a lot of people who have done this before, and it's not hard. So we're more than happy to, you know, help people with that, get them started.
All right. So I think we've got quite a list of actions. It might be worth syncing up perhaps later on in the week, perhaps on Friday, even if it's not on a call, either on email or on IRC, to see how we're doing with the to keep track of the actions.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Cool. All right.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thanks, Jose and Nathan.
Yeah,
Great work.
Thanks to
that
all.
was really good call. So thanks a lot for joining in and for finding the time.
Brilliant.
All right.
Take care,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.